to do. You have to
For a
make sure
second,
that
and then we'll get back to the
so you have
Xbox
be incredibly
showcase.
creative. Given that the name of the game is Baldur's Gate, the city was really going to be the thing that people were going to be talking about.
The city of
Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate
Gate is seamless, which
I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna
it
take Kai
originally
out to pee
wasn't.
as well,
You
and
only
then I'll be
can
back.
judge the game when you have all the components together. And if the mix doesn't work, we start over.
At some point, he said, like, can't we just connect everything? And that was a very interesting day.
One of the things that's done is it's brought a level of believability and immersion and also complexity that wouldn't have been there otherwise.
Now it was this seamless, giant organism, and it really, really felt good.
It's being able to look out of a window and see down the city slope, so you're seeing down toward the docks, and you're like, one of my teammates might be down there. They might be running around down there.
We worked on it as a painting almost. You start with a sketch, a very basic line, and then you just start adding layers and layers.
We can put lots more of the city onto the screen than they could in 1998. So we can do something that is more immersive, richer, has more texture to it.
It feels like you are walking around a place where there are lots and lots of people living their actual lives.
You have crowds that are walking around, can talk to pretty much anybody, and they react to every single thing. It's very alive in that sense.
Every person that you meet in Baldur's Gate has got a story to them.
All the things that you have done up to the city really matter. You can really feel the conclusion of everything just gathering there.
We actually build anticipation through all these characters that you've met, through all these situations that you've been through.
All the stories that you have been following, all the decisions that you've been making, they all come to fruition in that lower city.
And the great thing is, if you so choose, you can be another bad thing that's happening to the city. You can arrive and be like, this place is on fire, and then you can throw petrol all over it.
During production, we felt like the city was our destination.
We spent, I think, 3 times, 4 times as much effort on the city than we originally planned. But the feeling of walking in there is just fantastic.
You have this constant jostling of things that are very much of the real world, and then you can indulge in the completely fantastical.
And then when you walk into the city, the noise of everybody talking to each other, the knowledge that everywhere you look, you can go there and you can do something, the knowledge that you can fly through it, it's great. So the thing that I was the most afraid of when we started making this game turned out to be the thing that I'm the most proud of.
Larian Studios breaks the classic RPG series out of a 2-decade retirement when Baldur's Gate 3 finally releases on August 31st. Up next, we're forging ahead with more fantasy as flame-headed fighters face ferocious foes in a co-op action roguelike. After all, what's a roguelike without an onslaught of algorithmic terrors? I feel like there's a lot of that going on around here lately. Anyways, here's the latest trailer for Ember Knights.
Oh, fuck. The song is so much harder than the game. That's what it feels like. What is this fucking thing?
What?
stories of terror, death, repeat in the upcoming stealth extraction horror, Macabre. In Macabre, you and your friends will team up to confront interdimensional terrors, venturing deep into unstable time risks tasked with uncovering the source of terrifying anomalies. A great way to enjoy the outdoors. Built in Unreal 5, this exclusive debut will be out later this year in early access.
You seriously don't have any signal.
Not even one bar, there's nothing. I can't get in.
So, I forgot to mention, there's like a super weird, scary thing getting around inside the rift.
The hell was that, a bear?
Have you ever heard a bear sound like that before?
I've never seen a bear before.
You guys look lost. Come on. You'll freeze to death out here.
Australian
Suppose you're
people.
looking for the lodge.
That's unique.
Here, take this. I call it the atomic space shifter. If anything goes wrong, not that it will, I can pull you back out. A lot of
The
folks
POC
come
of
up
white
here
people.
looking for answers.
Unlike
It's
Italians,
weird.
the true.
It's like time runs
Australians are the true POCs of white people.
Guys, I think I found something.
We're gonna get fucking Macca's, mate. Lady Kanoran, thank you for the 550 subs.
We gotta find the others, dude.
I think that might be a Kiwi. Kiwi. The Kiwis, not Aussies. My bed. My fucking bed. Average day in fucking New Zealand. It's called Zelda.
I can't believe it worked.
Zelda.
This is the key to... Ah, you're alive. Ready to go back in?
Macca's is their word, but you can say McDonald's. Average fucking day. Average day in New Zealand, mate. This is the average day in New Zealand, mate. This is how it fucking works. These are real fucking gators and whatnot.
We thought we had billions of years before our sun died.
Accent wrong and fill attack. Shut up.
We were wrong. Thousands of us answered the call, rallying to save those we can. Every one of our ships a ray of hope. Captain, it is up to you to find us a new home, so we can plant the future seeds of humankind.
Copy. Plotting course now. Sector locked in. We are cleared to jump. Prepare for warp jump in 3, 2, 1.
Soft landings, Captain.
As great as Earthless looks, it makes you wonder, how are we in the real world going to fare when our big, beautiful sun enters its twilight years? Me, I'm optimistic. Who knows what we'll achieve by then? Every billionaire-funded space rocket that detonates moments after takeoff is one more step on the winding road of progress. Up next, tie on those togas and make merry with fine wine as all roads lead to this newest city builder. Here's a first look at Nova Roma.
Civ Killer? Is it? What if you play this and run out of money? I will not be playing this. I mean, this is the PC Gamer Showcase, chat. Of course, a lot of these games are going to be A-coded. Wait, what? So apparently the Cyberpunk expansion totally overhauls the game. AI, skills, perks, vehicles, police. Baffling how this has been undersold. No fucking way. Wait, so they are actually making a good game that is like well defined on a wonderful universe that they already had created. Because Cyberpunk did one thing very good. And that one thing was basically taking a fucking game or taking a board game with a really, really cool universe, taking a game in a really cool universe that was built for a board game and making it into a video game. But like all of the other parts of that, they did a horrible job with, including AI, including playability, all of this stuff, right? It was a role-playing game, not a board game. Sorry, yeah. A role-playing game, not a board game. Lucy James says, played 90 minutes of Phantom of Liberty yesterday, and it's astounding how much CDPR has changed and improved pretty much everything. Combat, UI, AI, skill tree, cybernetics, armor, I could go on. Wild shit. So they kept the good thing, which was... I mean, look, I trust Tumblr, okay? He says, played this. It is wild how different of a game this is. Cyberpunk most people thought we'd be playing, and I'm excited to jump back in. Lovely preview here. Yeah, he wouldn't fucking lie, okay? That's the HasanAbi head to the core right there. Oh my God, I want to believe. I'm getting excited. I'm getting so fucking excited. So they'd be selling a fixed DLC and expansion. The bar is so on the floor for this. Is the game they originally promised us. I mean... Dude, the original game that they promised us was promises that were impossible to fulfill in that time frame. It was absolutely their fault for not doing it. Ooh, is this a RTS?
Will you lead us?
Is this about World War I?
Pairing squad tactics with historic inspiration, Last Train Home is based on real events in the aftermath of World War I. However, historians continue to uncover records describing train passengers travelling homewards, some dating as recently as 2023. Whether any train home is truly the last remains the subject of academic debate. History is clear on one thing though: puppets can't be trusted. As proof, watch as Sesame Street meets survival horror in My Friendly Neighborhood.
Hey Gordon, it's Kyle. I know we're dropping this on you last minute, but we need you to head down to the Sunrise Street studio lot. The antenna activated itself last night and started broadcasting that old puppet show over the news. Need to turn that thing off. You gotta get this done, man. Bye.
The last job of the day is always the worst.
Raise the curtain. Bring up the lights. The neighborhood is coming to town.
Hey, stay back! Let's do this.
Resident Sesame Street Evil, but like, I prefer that to yet another fucking zombie game. But this game is too scary for me, so I will not be playing. Let's be real, okay? It should be illegal to make scary games, especially ones with like childish cartoon-like characters.
I ended early. Can we go back to the beginning?
A sprint victory and points up for grabs right here.
Push as much as you can. Copy.
Can they push more, I wonder? They can't afford to sit back and relax now.
Are we in trouble or not?
Oh, and that's a crash!
I'm pushing out, next one, pushing out.
And McLaren with a great overtake. Stay right here.
Is this Formula One
because
manager?
We're just getting started.
Oh my god, that's a game? Dude,
Hey, Frank AI.
Football Manager is literally... Football Manager is the type of game for, you know, the jock-adjacent A-worded people. I don't know who that market is for the Formula One manager.
Ah, cornering the VTuber market. Smart, very smart. I'm just not really sure this is my vibe, but since we're on a time crunch, let's see what's next for Subnautica Likes in Space with a trailer for Breath Edge 2.
Space Nautica? This is also scary.
Man, there are so many great video games in this year's show. Frank AI, what do we know about sand?
Sand is a fine granular
What's
substance
up with this-
composed of mineral particles.
What's up with
It
this
is finer
talking
than
head?
gravel, but coarser than silt.
Yes. But it's also a brand new survival game set in an alternate history where Austro-Hungarian soldiers smuggle space salvage across alien deserts.
I don't understand that sentence. Would you like to hear more about sand types?
Oh, no need. I'm about to know plenty. Let's take a look at sand.
Space Austro-Hungarians implies the existence of space Ottomans, and I'm here for that, 100%.
До прибуття. Завітайте в Лазуровий порт. У нас найкращі пляжі, готелі та ресторани. Файно! Замовлю собі багатського м'яса та пива. А ви що, хлопці?
Ну, раз ми ліпші, то побалуй себе шампанським і морським оленем. А ти ж, Петро?
А я, як завжди, маленьку бану ще хочу.
Okay, this didn't show me anything. I have no idea what this is about now.
We have reached the end of this year's show, and we're saving something very exciting for the end. Dune Awakening, the survival MMO adaptation of the classic sci-fi series. Frank AI, what have you got for us for the big finale?
If you like, I could fill the room with sand.
That's a little literal, don't you think? But what if we had, like, costumes? Oh, Dune's got some really cool costumes. We have the still suits, the royal garments. Oh my God, I could dress up maybe as like a giant sandworm.
It will require 3 million teraflops of processing power to render you as a sandworm, Sean.
I mean,
bro,
don't worry.
PC Gamer Showcase said, hey, you guys like Strand type games. How about some sand type games? Okay, that's what we're finishing it off with.
Dude, like the real Frankie with the fun hair who's not a computer. Oh, man, there was this one year where she was a shark. And then, and she was like a mech pilot. And, I had a spaceship. And there was this other time with togas, and I had this really nice robe. Anyways, just forget it. I'm living in the past. I shouldn't even miss this stuff. I mean, we're adults, right? Frankie Ward?
Do you still want to do the costumes bit, Sean?
I want to do the Dune dress up bit so bad. I'm sorry. I tried to fire everyone. And make
I don't want to make fun of these guys, but I just want to see the game, man.
Frankie, would you do the honors?
Gladly. Here is an exclusive interview with the team making a survival MMO that's more sought after than a suitcase stuffed with spice melange. It's Dune Awakening.
I wanted to see the actual thing so I could serve you the top of the hour exactly as it's happening. If you want an uninterrupted broadcast experience, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with Twitch Prime or by getting gifted a sub. And they're from Oslo, Norway. Oh, top of the hour. These guys are from Norway. The guys making Dune. What do they know about sand? There is no sand in Norway.
My name's Joel Bylos. I'm the creative director on Dune Awakening. So Dune Awakening is a survival, open world, massively multiplayer game. It is a game where players are invited to explore
this guy
the
is
world of
literally,
Dune.
what,
They
is he
involve
Norwegian
themselves in
Australia? What the
politics,
fuck?
they involve themselves in intrigue, they involve themselves in combat, they have to survive on the most dangerous planet in the universe.
I think he's just
And
Australian.
through this experience, they come to know the factions in the world and the universe. So when Dune Awakening begins, you are a castaway on the planet in the deep desert, and all you have is a knife that you've made out of scrap metal. And you need to creep into enemy
Now
camps
I understand
and
how bad
knife
your
them in the
Norwegian
back
accent
and
is.
steal
Brother,
the water
he's
from their
literally
sources.
Australian.
By the end of the game, perhaps you're running a guild. You have a fleet of vehicles, ornithopters flying in formation, sandbikes cruising across the desert beneath them, tanks kicking up a cloud of dust as you drive to a spice blow in the distance in order to harvest with your guild. And you see in the distance another guild.
They
coming
hired
towards
this
you,
guy
and
because
just
of
as
his
you clash, you
knowledge
hear the
of
rumble
sand.
of a sandworm coming. That's combat in Dune Awakening.
My name is Viljar Sommerbakk. I'm the game director on Dune Awakening. You start out in the desert, surviving, clinging to life, and in the end, you might become someone like the Baron Harkonnen, and then you try to cling to power.
Does that sound a little bit more like what they say
in the
than what they
universe.
do?
Surviving on Arrakis means that you need to prepare for sandstorms. You need to find water. It's a constant threat against survival. The sandworm, every time you try to cross the desert, that sandworm will come. You will sometimes outrun it, sometimes you may not.
Dune Awakening is built upon a foundation of 5 pillars. Survival, which is obviously everything you'd expect to see in a survival game. It's water discipline, it's the surviving the sandstorms that sweep across Arrakis. Then we have politics and intrigue, which speaks to the faction gameplay of the game. It's about, siding with one of the factions, thinking about how they work together, perhaps assassinating members of the other factions. Then there's infinite exploration. Infinite exploration, which is one of the things I'm most excited about, is how the world
it just
changes
looks like sand.
over time. We have a concept called a Coriolis storm.
This looks
and when it
more like
sweeps
sand
across
than the
landscape,
previous
the
game,
sands shift
sand.
revealing new points of interest, hiding others, making the game renewed every week. Then we have Combined Arms. Combined Arms is our combination of vehicles, melee combat, range combat, and abilities all working together to create a seamless sandbox combat experience. And finally, we have expression and customization, which is really more than just talking about like the visual expression and customization, which of course we have armor sets and clothing and a robust character creation. But in addition to that, it's really about play the way you want to play. Do you want to be a trader? You can do that. Do you want to be a fighter? Of course you can do that. Do you want to be a spy? Maybe that's the gameplay you're looking for. All of these things built into these pillars.
So the journey of the player, we've divided that into 4 parts. We think of them as survive, protect, expand, control. The survive part means that you're up against the planet itself and you're clinging onto life. In the protect phase, you've gathered some stuff, you might have a base, but you also want to make sure that nobody else comes to take it away from you, so you try to build defenses and make sure that your base is in the clear. Then, in the expand phase, you lift your gaze and you look around and you see that others have stuff as well, and you might want to take their stuff. Then, in the control phase, you may find yourself being a part of a guild or even the leader of a guild. Then, the goal is to control the flow of spice on Arrakis. However, you're never safe. There's always someone lurking around the corner. Can you really trust your second in command?
They don't even use guns
the
in
goal
Dune?
of the control phase is
they
that
do
you
now,
are
baby.
clinging to control. Whenever you get into combat in the desert of Arrakis, try to get it over with quickly, because not only are you fighting human combatants, but the planet Arrakis itself is the greatest protagonist there is.
They have a type of gun.
And with that, the PC Gaming Show 2020.
But doesn't it like? Don't they have a type of gun that like shoots? It like does. It's not like a real gun. It's It doesn't shoot bullets. It's like a gun that shoots like a fucking. I don't know how to describe it. It's just, but it's not a real gun. It's not a gun in the way that you would think. Anyway, all right, let's get back to the fucking Xbox showcase. But what is Starfield? Why are you guys like, I don't know what Starfield is. Everyone was talking about Starfield coming their pants. It's Bethesda. Todd Howard is involved. Oh, this is like Space Rim. Space Skyrim, right? No Man's Skyrim? That's even